Ladies and gents, it's Thursday and it's time for an alternative paper review. Now there's a lot to get through. This morning we've got changes to workers' rights, we've got the train strikes resolution, we've even got a drop in the mortgage interest rates to touch on. But first guys, the most important story of the day. So says the Telegraph and the Daily Mirror at least. Tommy and Molly May are splitting. Oh my God, can you hear that? Oh, what's that? It's coming. I can hear it. What's coming? What are you talking about? It's coming from over there. It's like a great big tidal wave of indifference. Anyway, over to the Times now, who warn businesses not to rush new workers' rights because they might hurt the economy. This is a story that a suite of new provisions designed to help the average worker. So, to make your life easier, to give you, a little bit more time off, give you better pay, better conditions. Well, you don't actually want that. I know it might feel like you do, but you don't. Because I know this is going to blow your mind a little bit, but it's actually not good if you get the good things. It's much better if your employer doesn't have to pay you more or necessitate certain facilities. It's better if they make more money, because then the GDP might go up. The economy might actually grow from 0.6% to 0.6001%. Right, so then the company does better and then the country does better. So then do we get the better pay and better working conditions? No. Then the money will be drawn down in dividends by the super wealthy, who will use it to buy every house on your street and rent them back to you. Or it won't land in the UK at all. Instead, it will be sent up to parent companies or transferred to their shells or anonymous trusts or offshore bank accounts. Right, but then do we get the better pay, better conditions, more time off and all that? Over to the Mail now, who report on the, quote, bumper pay deal that the government have offered to train drivers of 15% over 3 years, thereby just about bringing them up to the increases that they should have got under the Tories. Remember, it was the Conservative government who caused the inflation by not price capping soaring energy bills, right? Remember that? And it was the Conservative government who were like, no, you can't have a pay rise, when the inflation peaked at like 11%. Everyone is getting progressively poorer, more broke, more broke. Inflation is just mauling their salaries. Mortgages were exploding. And representatives from the unions were like, could you help us a bit? And the same Conservative MPs who never pass up an opportunity to vote for their own salaries to go up. They're like, well, I don't know if £85,000 really covers the stresses that we're under. Those same guys were like, You earn £65,000 a year, don't you? You bloody train drivers. I think that's more than enough. And so, obviously, the train drivers went on strike. Now, Labour are like, okay, look, let's backdate it. Yes, your pension contributions will also be backdated. So if we offer you the 15% over 3 years, right, then that brings you broadly up to where... So would you agree to go back to work for that? Can we get the country moving again? So all of that sounds quite positive, really, doesn't it? Broadly speaking, we get trains moving again. There's fewer cancellations. Train drivers might finally be able to afford those astronomical mortgages again. Plus, you can't credibly say that this is a bumper pay packet increase or it's the train drivers being greedy, because all the deal does is take them back up to where they should have been anyway, if you took inflation into account. But don't worry, I'm sure that the mercury-slurping opinionistas at the Telegraph, like Isabel Oakeshott, Charles Moore, Alistair Heath, and half the staff of GB News, the mediums of tedium over that way, I'm sure they'll be right along any second to mischaracterise this all as the beginnings of British communism.
Prince Andrew's a nonce burger.
Finally, over to the Express, who appear to hold a serious concern for their largely over 70 years old readership, many of whom will be likely to miss out on the winter fuel payments. Now, it would be easy to go down that road of mocking with this, wouldn't it? Of, observing how little that particular age bracket appeared to have cared for the younger generations, and now it's the younger generations who are working and earning and paying the tax that's footing the bill for things like your winter fuel payments. It would be so easy to be like, well, you lot are always going on about benefits, scroungers. Well, it sounds like Sounds like you can't afford your bills, doesn't it? Sounds like you're looking for a handout. I mean, you lot, your shadow work and pensions secretary, your CCHQ, your Daily Express, you're always chastising other people for wanting a handout, for not being able to budget properly. Sounds like, I don't know, maybe you should go out and find a better paying job. Like, who remembers over the space of the last 10 years, every time the younger generations have tried to make their voices heard when it comes to Brexit, when it comes to the housing crisis? Like, Grandad, my rent's just doubled. I can't afford to live. Can you help me out? Yeah, this is the problem with these kids today. Nobody wants to bloody work anymore. They all want something for nothing. Your first starter home that you bought for £100 is $1 million now. Avocado on toast and Netflix, etc., etc. Anyway, now the shoe is on the other foot. It's the boomers who want state help. It's the boomers who can't afford their bills. It would be so easy to just be like, which of I signed this petition for the winter fuel payment sign? Wow, hard copy paper petition. How quaint. But no, I'm not signing this. But I can't feel my legs. Well, the state can't solve all your problems. I mean, have you tried holding your nerve? I mean, this is the problem with you hipper snappers. You always want something for nothing. Anyway, yes, it would be easy to be that callous. But no, we won't stoop to those lows on this paper review. Are you ever going to stop messing around and actually talk about solutions for the problem? All right. You want a proper solution? Okay, here's a solution. I think we should withdraw the winter fuel payment completely. Jesus I think we should completely withdraw it, and then we should ape the thing with the workers' rights, right? Okay. We should just take it away and then invest the money in the FTSE 100. Because it's whatever is best for the economy, right? Whatever is best for GDP. We don't want to shake the economy with these unnecessary winter fuel payments. We'll put it in the FTSE 100, then we'll let it trickle down to the corporations that provide the gas and the energy. And I'm sure eventually they'll make life better for you. Boy, you are such a dog. Oh, go fuck yourself. In all seriousness, I do think we should probably keep the winter fuel payments for as many pensioners as possible. They do tend to be not just harder up financially, but also more vulnerable with their health than other age demographics. But I do also think it should be means tested. You know, it can't be right that if you're sat in a £1.5 million house, you got all that equity, all that capital, but it's just locked up in this massive house, right? If that's you, if you're asset rich, but cash poor, you need to sell the house, Grandma. Like, sell the house, move down to the South Coast, have a retirement of comfort, help your kids out a bit. And if you don't want to sell the house, if you do just want to stay in this big, super valuable £1.5 million cottage, and you're still upset about the absence of the winter fuel payment because you're asset rich and cash poor, here's what you can do, right? You can cling on to this. Just remember this, yeah? Nothing lasts forever, all right? Nothing amazing. Nothing, no matter how much we want it to. Not that one lucky round of bingo. Not Bet Lynch's tenure running the pub in Coronation Street. Not only fools or Princess Diana. All good things must eventually come to an end, and nothing can escape that. Not even Tommy and Molly May. You can start the cars with the whiskey on my